Hi, my name is Fumbi and this is Petito's Gang. Today on the show, we discuss the crumbling aviation infrastructure. From shoddy refurbishment to poor regulatory services, we look at some of the reasons why this is happening and what can be done to improve them. Let's go to the gang now.
It's good to be back and to be back with a subject as important as the challenge in the aviation sector. I mean, just to summarize some of the big problems in the sector. We've just survived the Abuja airport closure, which was the result of trying to fix the runways. The Enugu airport had a thunderstorm that blew down the entire facade. If it rains, you literally flood the whole hallways. It's been that way for more than 1 year. Nothing has been done. Even the Enugu runway is said to be a bit of a dangerous exercise. Flying into one pilot took me on that once as I was flying to Enugu and said, like, people who have a voice, why don't you say something about this? This airport is not a safe airport to fly into. You then go to other basic areas. I recently went to Accra, Ghana on Rwanda Air. I mean, you look at the quality of the aircraft, look at the quality of the service, and you wonder, how is it possible a small country like Rwanda can manage what Nigerian private sector and Nigerian public sector have failed to do, run a decent airline? What is the challenge with the aviation sector in Nigeria? I don't know if there's any wisdom here beyond my sense of exasperation about what the problem is with the aviation sector.
I think the environment in the sector is so uncloudy that serious businesses and investors shy away from making entry into the sector. We opened up government full control. Later, the idea of concession came about. In the middle, less than 10-15% of the concession program we announced privatization. And some of the airports concession also placed on the privatization bill. That, of course, threw challenge to investors. The government is back to its old game. No clear policy, no commitment. Long and short of it is that the government doesn't obey its rules. And that would, of course, scare away serious investors. End of last year, government announced going to privatize the principal ports in Lagos, Abuja, Kano, and Port. Questions were raised: what's going to happen to less efficient, profitable airports? Who's going to manage them? Are we cutting off almost 3/4 of Nigeria from the aviation sector? Even the ones listed for privatization, nobody's coming forward to pick it because the rules are not clear, and because of that, you cannot have very efficient investors coming into the businesses.
Really worrisome.
Well, I just wanted to make one statement that what surprises me about this report is that that was the one area where the last government was praising itself. So much money was supposed to have been spent on refurbishing airports, etc. And I know that Enugu was one of them.
Such a horrible job.
And then it's such a, so even when you provide the funding, nothing comes out of it.
But I think even more tragic is something that Nigeria has become globally notorious for. All of us know when you're coming into Lagos on an international flight, the aircraft switches off its engine and people start to get up and everybody's warned, please sit down, we've not reached. And the tug then pulls the aircraft into bay and then this flight comes on. We've been doing this for, I don't know, decades. Why do we have that problem? I recall a conversation I had with Captain Blumide, who's one of the final managers, aviators in our country years ago. And he was saying to me, we know why we have that problem? Hydraulic. The air bridges need to move to meet the aircraft. Hydraulic has not worked. How much is it? How much will it take to fix hydraulic? A couple of million naira, not as much as the managing director of the fan or whatever spends to go on one business trip.
Yeah.
It just boggles the mind that we can run a country like this.
I personally think that
It's the culture of Nigerians. You cannot dress clean at a dirty house. You talk about Rwanda here. If you've been to Kigali, it's a very neat country.
It's probably the cleanest city in the world
You
today.
cannot litter the floor.
Yeah.
You talk about the aviation industry. I mean, we have private aviation owners in Nigeria, like Arik, Aero. I mean, people like that do this to make money. You get their planes, it's ridiculous. I can keep on saying the mentality has to change. No matter the amount of investment anybody brings to this country, if you have the same mentality, we're not going anywhere. A plane can be small and be neat. I mean, you've gone on small planes, maybe between like 20-minute planes. They are clean, they are small, but they are clean. You get on our local flights, Aero, and then you see them taping seats.
Sellotape over the seats, yes.
So yes, we've always been the government, but even the citizens of Nigeria need to be disciplined. Like I said again, you cannot leave a dirty house and come out clean.
But the whole idea of competition is that we get people to offer better service so that they'll attract custom away from their competitor. Why did competition not manage to do it in the aviation industry in Nigeria? Because each time I got on aircraft with those sellotape on in business class, they use sellotape to bandage the seat. I say to myself, why has somebody not seen this as an opportunity to even advertise on my aeroplanes? There's no sellotape. Because that's the whole idea of competition. Why has the competition doctrine not worked in that sector? And Rashid began to address it in the point he was making about the nature of the regulatory environment. So most of those in the sector are in quasi-monopolies, oligopolies of sorts in which really there isn't competition. So what can be done? Why is it possible to run an airline in a country like Tanzania, Kenya, private airlines, thriving? In a country like Nigeria with business locations, Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, that alone should be able to. What's the problem in making competition work, attracting capital into a sector that can then grow as a result of the profit that comes from servicing people there?
I think because I'm due to comments, the discipline is not there even on the part of the private sector. We should not keep the whole blame on the public sector. The players are also not disciplined. They are not offering the best practices. I'll give you a life experience. I flew Lagos, I was flying Lagos, Calabar for a meeting. The flight was rescheduled without adequate notice, so we missed the flight. Quite a number of us. They said, okay, by such patience, they put us on Lagos, Uyo, but the Lagos Uyo flight was diverted to drop us in Calabar. Whether Calabar will be the first port of call, the last, nobody was able to confirm to us. So we boarded the aircraft for Uyo. When the plane took off, I personally asked the cabin, where are we heading for? Are we heading for Calabar? Or none of the cabin staff could confirm where we're heading. They said they don't know. Eventually, got announcement, welcome to Margaret's Airport. They said, thank God this is Calabar. So we took off for hand luggages. 45 minutes we were standing, the plane, the door was not open. It became warm, people started raising concern. The pilot announced we had a challenge. This airport are closed at 4 o'clock. Oh my goodness. And we landed at about 9 p.m. in the night. All the airline staff had gone home. The aviation authority had closed the desk at 4. Nobody to receive us. So there was no gang way to bring us down from the airplane.
But you're lucky they didn't bring ladder.
So they sent to the staff first to come back to work and bring the ladder. Eventually did that. Those of us who had hand luggages were lucky, came out of it. Those who had their luggages checked in.
The bags had to go to you.
Their bag had to go to you. And there was no apology from anybody. You cannot put that blame on the aviation military agency. I want to believe when the plane took off from Lagos, Calabar should have been alerted that the plane Yes, it's coming.
Was coming.
If the regulatory agency failed, what of the airline itself? They have desk staff on ground in Calabar. They should have alerted that Uyo flight will be coming first to Calabar or will come to Calabar after Uyo. So it shows the level of decay, even on the side of private sector operators. They are not. Some of those are given a go ahead for that plane to take off from Lagos, and
Why the air traffic control was there to bring you down? Because they could have gone.
So it shows the level of decay in the sector, not heaping blame fully on government. Private sector operators too are not the best.
Okay, you know what? Let's pause. When we return from break, we'll continue this very, very important conversation.
Is a wrong mindset really our problem? Are the customers accepting mediocrity? These are some of the points that the gang has raised. But let's find out what you think as we head to the streets.
When the government is saying that way, it will be reduced. The number of people that are just fighting to get there.
You see a situation where individuals prosper in whatever business they do, whereas the federal government investments doesn't prosper. Now, and I discovered in it that sometimes the best brains in these individual companies or parastatals are always being taken away from the federal government companies to where they pay them better money. Then at the end of the day, they will kind of begin to sabotage those companies from where they were taken to those individual companies. Then, and that is now helping the federal government in their own investments, like the aviation industry.
Well, those suggest that aviation industry should be privatized, because if it is privatized, those people running it, they'll be very, very serious, and they'll give people the kind of services they want.
Our government know what to do. If they want to do it, they know how to handle it. It is only they are just feel unconcerned with the masses. That is just what happened.
We are back, and we're talking about the challenge in the aviation sector. Now, competition is one of the issues you suggested should take care of such things. But obviously, we're not responding to competition in terms of people feeling that they will be hurt by their conduct. We're supposed to maybe encourage foreign players to come in and jazz up competitive environment. Virgin came into the market as Virgin Nigeria, but Branson left saying some unprintable things about his experience with Nigerian public officials. Bribes, extortion, everything. He would never do business in Nigeria again. So why has competition not managed to? I mean, you were making a point about you come in and your seat is to the table.
I actually think competition has to do with the consumer. I feel like the Nigerian mentality is this: you get on the plane, you pay for your ticket, you still feel like the airline is doing you a favor by picking you up. You notice if you see people on the plane, like a passenger and like a hostess, you're pretty much trying to beg them, please, no. Because I pay for a ticket, that's why you're in business. I don't understand. Okay, now let's say, for example, you're in America, you're going from DC to Atlanta, you fly Delta Airlines, and you sit in the seat with a tape on it. Automatically, you would see a form there for you to fail for compensation. If that is done 2-3 times and you figure you try to balance out the cost you're paying and the cost of fixing this thing, you would have done it. But Nigerians get on the flight and will leave for the next man to do it. Who is the next man to do it? That's the problem. We keep leaving things for the next person to do it. Let's forget government. This is demand and supply.
The authorities have actually at some point said, look, if a flight is delayed, this compensation must be paid to all the, and so on and so forth. What happened with all of those kinds of things? So obviously we have a situation where competition is far from being in place.
And this is the day of social media. If 20% of people on the flight posting on social media about an airline, they will sit up.
I was recently in the United States. While I was there was a dramatic incident of some doctor who was pulled off the aircraft. And guess what? The airline was so desperate to sort things out.
That doctor
They
is
settled.
He's
A very rich
Yes.
man.
now.
Very rich man as we speak. Nobody has said anything about the settlement, but a couple of $1 million have entered his pockets.
And what happened? Social media recorded it and put it on YouTube, put it on social media, and that's it.
Yeah, it was in all the news.
They need to report to a police or authority.
You see, I would place the whole issue in a much larger context. In Nigeria, we have not decided to be good at anything.
Thank you.
As a nation, we have not. I even say maybe we can identify just one area that we're going to say we want to be excellent in this area, because there are some areas that Nigerians are naturally good. Jamaicans are known for sprints, but Nigerians are sprinters. Maybe it is boxing, maybe it is, different countries have certain areas that you know them for. We have never decided to be good at anything.
How do you get people to think of their own self-interest? Because if you're making it look like public interest, what's my own public interest?
Exactly.
But this is self-interest. Rashid Adikbero needed to get to Calabar, and an airline treats him the way that he's been treated. And the following day, he says, well, thank God at least I got to Calabar. I didn't have checked-in bags, I survived. Those who had checked-in bags, well, they have to pray very hard the next day. What is responsible for our not being able to have horizontal linkages in which an affected group say, enough is enough, we can't take this anymore, at every level of our national life? Because, look, transportation is very critical to development. You really, really don't grow an economy until people can move with ease, goods and services. People. Now here we are, totally constrained. Why is it that a desert village wakes up one day, doesn't have an aviation industry, leases 2 aircraft from Pakistan Airlines, and is running perhaps the biggest airline in the world today? It's called Emirates. And we can't get people. Why is it that Lagos is not the hub of the African aviation industry, that you fly from everywhere you are in the world into Lagos and then head to wherever else you're going in Africa? Because geographically, the location is fantastic for that kind. Is it because we...
Yeah, but that is the issue. Lagos is the center of excellence, quote unquote. Why are we fooling ourselves? If we use Lagos to define excellence, that shows you how low our standards are.
Nigeria may not be able to serve effectively as a hub because most of the airports around here, after 6, it's impossible to have aircraft land. While other countries do 18 hours fly in, fly out, Nigeria probably is doing about 8 hours. So most of the time, the aircrafts are there on the ground idle. So that the powers,
That's part of the problem.
so that the power supply to the airport
That's a
is
sort
not
of
assured.
problem.
And so to run a hub, every other thing is perfect.
Yeah, but you made a very, very important point to why the airline industry is in shambles, because they are not profitable, because they have a window of 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. to fly, or 6 p.m. in many cases. Look, the aeroplane is designed to be permanently airborne, literally speaking. It just comes down, refuels, changes, takes off again. So those who are profitable utilize that aircraft 24 hours. For the Nigerian aviation industry, there's so many constraints to being able to use an aircraft. You deal with aircraft that are not night worthy airports. So by 6 o'clock, most of them are short. Even if they had landing facilities for nights, like what I call Lagos, Kano, maybe Abuja. You land in Port Harcourt at 10 p.m. The thought of going on that road at night into town is so dangerous that, you don't have night flights. And so the aircraft is so in such low use that profitability is impossible. Those of them that even manage to do anything, what they do is they schedule their West Africa flights for night. So when they finish running to Calabar, Port Harcourt, everywhere, 7, 8 p.m., they begin to go to Accra. Because you can get into Accra and go to where you're going at midnight. The question is, why don't we just, since we're now interested in privatization, public-private, why don't we do the complete thing? Say we are incompetent to run this sector. Richard Branson, come, take it over, run whatever you want to run. This guy in Kenya. But it's still a shame because Marxist, Leninist, East German, Ethiopia under Mengistu Haile Mariam had Ethiopia running as the best airline in Africa. Why? They had one guy called Captain Mohammed, who was a competent guy, and they let him be. Ethiopian was the biggest source of their foreign exchange.
It was the primary source of foreign exchange.
So, with all our endowments, our geographic location, look, we could take somewhere like Calabar. When Donald Duke was doing Tinapa, I said to him, look, this thing will not work. With 2 flights a day, it will not work. But if you could make Calabar, and it was in a great location for that, the hub for Central Africa. Everybody heading towards Central Africa, Angola, Gabon, all of those places. From wherever you fly into Calabar. And 30 aircraft are taking off every couple of hours going to Central Africa. Tinapa would have been a huge success. That's what Dubai did with the Emirates, and suddenly became the middle of the world. Everybody was going to. Anyhow, something needs to be done clearly about the aviation sector. It's either we admit that we can't run it and totally get out of it and get private people to run it, or we get some more committed people, the Captain Mohammeds of this world, to come and run it. It's no shame in saying we can't. Let's get an Ethiopian to come and run it for us. Hey,
Nigerians will never accept.
Nigerians will never accept, but that's the truth of our reality. We can't run it. We don't seem to have and it's almost always about our politics. I know the private sector is supposed to have failed very badly, but the question is, what private sector? How did that private sector become private sector? It's all still about the politics that, people extract rent and they seem to be businessmen. It's a difference between
people that have the capital are not entrepreneurs.
Yes, that's the problem in Nigeria.
The aviation sector, just like any other sector, is our joint responsibility. And perhaps privatization might be a way out. Unfortunately, that's all that we have time for on today's show. But please keep the conversation going by following us on all our social media platforms that are displayed on your screen right now. If you missed the episode, don't worry. Go to our YouTube channel that is at Patitos Gang TV, subscribe and share the videos with everyone as well. Till next time, my name is Fumbi Ogunbawo. Take care.